Okay, so connecting with the previous lecture, in those lectures we have already covered different techniques of forecasting. I already discussed different example while using the Excel. So today I'm just going to show you how to use common measure of error. So there are different measure. In order to perform on the basis of those measure, that which forecasting technique is the most feasible one, which forecasting technique give you the most accurate results. So proceeding to that, there are different types of forecast measure. The most important among those is the mean absolute deviation. So if you remember, we have already discussed an example in the previous lecture in which I used mean absolute deviation. There are also some tracking signal. So you can also easily understand that how you will calculate tracking signal TS, which is summation actual minus forecast divided by mean absolute deviation. So when we sum actual minus forecast and when we divide with the mean absolute deviation, then this is called tracking signal. A good tracking signal has low values. We have already calculated mean square error, and how we will calculate mean square error, which is summation forecast error. So what is forecast error? Actual minus forecast whole square divided by the number n period, how many previous n period you utilize. Another approach is the mean absolute percent error, which is also called MEP. In this MEP, this is basically the absolute actual minus forecast divided by actual. You need to sum it and then you need to multiply with 100 divided by n. So in most of the forecasting techniques, some forecast analysts, some business analysts use mean absolute percentage error. Some decide on the basis of tracking signal, some decide on the mean absolute deviation, some decide on the simple cumulative sum of forecast error. So simple sum of forecast error is summation actual minus forecast. So we will sum this. If, for example, if we use moving average on a specific data, if we use weighted moving average on the same data, and if we use exponential smoothing or some other technique, then we will just count, we will just sum the error, we will check those approach which give us a smallest error, then we will consider that this approach forecast is the best one. So now I am going to show you in Excel that how we will calculate all these common measure of error. So in Excel it will not be difficult for you. So I am going to show you that example. So you can see we have some specific data which start from January to December. So this is 12-month data. We have some specific fund price data. We perform a simple moving average, a 3-month moving average. So you people know how to conduct 3-month moving average, which is equal to sum and the previous 3-month data, okay, and divided with 3 because we consider only 3 months, and then you will drag it down, okay. So this is the forecasted value. Now we need to calculate the forecast error. So how we will calculate the forecast error is equal to actual. So actual sale or actual data for April was 32.73 minus the forecasted, which we use 3-month moving average for which, and we calculated this. So this is my error. Then I not need to repeat it again and again. I will drag it down, okay. So this is your forecast error. So if you want to use this cumulative sum forecast error, so you need to only, I'm just writing CFE. So how you will calculate CFE is equal to sum. So you need to just sum this whole forecasted, the error, and error is actual minus forecasted value. So the CFE of this moving average is minus 5.119. Okay. If you want to use weighted moving average, for example, this is my weighted moving average. We assign some specific weight. So if I click this, you can see we assign 0.4 on the most recent month data, which is March, and we want to predict for April. 0.4 we apply, we inject for February data, and 0.2 we apply and we inject for January data. So as I already discussed that in the example, it will be divided with the sum of those weights. So we have already calculated the error, the same procedure, actual minus forecasted value. So for example, I want to calculate CFE for this. So the error is equal to, the actual is this one minus the forecasted value, which is this one. Okay, then you need to drag it down. When you complete this, when you drag it down, so the CFE for the weighted moving average will be is equal to sum. You need to select this, so minus 4.525. So you can see the CFE for the weighted moving average is minus 4, and the CFE cumulative sum of forecast error for simple moving average is minus 5.119. So in this scenario, if we want to decide on the basis of cumulative sum of forecast error, then definitely the weighted moving average is the more feasible approach, which gives us more accurate, because the value of CFE lower than the CFE of simple moving average. So we will decide that a good forecasting accurate approach have a lowest value of CFE. Okay, so if we want to conduct mean absolute deviation, another measure in order to check that which technique is the most feasible one, which is mean absolute deviation. So how you will calculate mean absolute deviation? So when you conduct, okay, I'm just going to apply this mean absolute deviation. So when you calculate actual minus forecast, which we have already calculated, actual minus forecast, we have already calculated this. Okay, then we will use is equal to ABS, which means absolute of this value, because absolute will change negative value into a positive value. So we will drag it down. When we drag it down, we will get these values. Okay, so then in the formulation you can see mean absolute deviation is equal to summation actual minus forecast divided by n. So now we need to calculate mean absolute deviation. Formula is, now we will calculate mean absolute deviation in this cell, which is equal to summation actual minus forecast. So we have already conducted this. Okay, we have already, this is absolute. Okay, the value of absolute. So what we will do is equal to sum of absolute. So you need to sum this value and divided by n. So how many period of month you include in this formulation? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we will divide with 9. Or simply you can also use is equal to average of the absolute value. So automatically it will give you the same thing. So this value and this value will be same. Similarly, you also need to calculate mean absolute deviation for another approach. For example, in the previous example, I have already calculated cumulative sum of forecast error for the simple moving average. So you also need to calculate mean absolute deviation for exponential smoothing, for weighted moving average. So you need to decide on the basis of mean absolute deviation, that approach which give you lowest mean absolute deviation. So you need to decide on the basis of that. Okay, because this error term involved, so that technique will be the best one which give you lowest error. There is another approach which is called tracking signal. So how you will calculate tracking signal? Tracking signal formulation is actual minus forecast divided by the mean absolute deviation. So it is very simple, because we have already calculated mean absolute deviation in the previous example, and we already know that sum of actual minus forecast. So this is already we have calculated sum of minus forecast, which is this value actual minus forecast, and we sum this, which is also called cumulative sum of forecast. You can see summation actual minus forecast. So this term is the same, divided by mean absolute deviation. So now at this place I am going to calculate tracking signal, and the tracking signal formula is summation actual minus forecast divided by mean absolute deviation. So is equal to this value divided by the mean absolute deviation, this value. So at this way our tracking signal is minus 4.117. Similarly, I want to conduct a cumulative a tracking signal for the weighted moving average. So we have already calculated this, and tracking signal for weighted moving average will be, so we also need to conduct an absolute for this. Let me calculate absolute value for this is equal to ADS, okay, and the absolute of the cumulative, because absolute is summation actual minus forecast divided by n. So summation absolute is equal to, we will take this value, we will drag it down, is equal to, this is now the sum, is equal to, this value will be the sum of this absolute, okay, and mean absolute deviation will be mean absolute deviation for the weighted moving average formula is equal to the summation of absolute values divided by n. So how many values we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is my mean absolute deviation. So on the basis of this, we will calculate tracking signal. So how we will calculate tracking signal? So tracking signal formula is summation. Tracking signal formula is summation actual minus forecast divided by mean absolute deviation. So while using this formula, we will write summation x minus, which is this value. So we will write this value divided by mean absolute deviation value, this value. So now you can see the tracking signal of weighted moving average and the tracking signal, you can see from this, the tracking signal for the weighted simple moving average is minus 4.117 and the tracking signal for the weighted moving average is minus 3.83. So in this scenario, tracking signal of the weighted moving average give you some accurate forecast. Maybe the exponential smoothing give you more accurate. So you also need to calculate the exponential smoothing tracking signal, and on the basis of that you will decide what should you need to do. Okay, there is another approach in the cumulative sum of forecast error, which is mean square error. So in my previous lecture, I have already calculated mean square. So you need to calculate forecast error, which is very simple, actual minus forecast. Then in the next, you need to take the square. You need to take the square of the forecast error. So the forecast error square is this one, and then you need to drag it down. When you drag it down, okay, then you will get these values, and then you need to sum, because the formulation is summation forecast error square. So we have already taken the square and divided by with n. So you can easily calculate average of the square error. So we will select this and we will enter it. So 2.3668 is the mean square error. Similarly, you will also calculate this mean square error for weighted moving average, for exponential smoothing average, for, let's suppose, least square approach, for multi-regression approach, for other approaches in the forecasting, Box-Jensen approach, etc. So then you will check on the basis of this the technique which give you the lowest value of mean square error, the technique which give you the lowest value of tracking signal, the technique which give you the lowest value of mean absolute deviation. So on the basis of that you will decide. There is another approach which is called mean absolute % error. So this is very simple. You can see actual minus forecast. So we have already calculated absolute, actual minus forecast divided by actual. So I am just adding a column. Okay. So in this case, in this scenario is equal to actual minus forecast, and we have already calculated actual. This is my actual minus forecast divided by the actual. So which one is the actual one? This is the actual one, and then we will drag it down. So we will calculate this term, actual minus forecast divided by actual. Then you also need to multiply 100 with the sum. So this will be the sum. Summation is equal to sum. This will be the summation of this actual minus forecast divided by this. So in the next step, you need to calculate, you need to multiply is equal to 100 into this value. So it will give you 34.33. Then in the next step, you need to calculate, you need to divide with n. This divided by n. So you need to count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you need to divide with 9. So at this way you will calculate mean absolute percentage error. So similarly, you will also calculate mean absolute percentage error for the weighted moving average. You also need to calculate mean absolute percentage error for the exponential smoothing, or if you are using some other advanced technique. So basically, these are the errors. These are the error terms. You need to decide on the basis of these error terms, error measure, that which forecasting technique give you the most accurate result. So in the coming lecture, I will discuss some more example. We will be going to start the discussion of some new advanced techniques in the forecasting. We will discuss linear regression, multilinear regression approach, seasonality, seasonal indices, etc., etc. So